Well, that was certainly interesting to watch. I do believe that is the dominant buck. He seemed to be very big-bodied to me, but without having any other deer next to him or feeding with him, it's really kind of hard to judge. But to the point of where I want to test burn the gunpowder I had talked about previously, about blending 3 equal parts, and it is Osage, alder, and juniper. So, I guess without any further ado, let's see how it burns. The usual 30 grains, and the block is that clean block so we can look at it without any discoloration in the wood. Like usual, went up pretty quick. Let me get your close-up of the block. So as usual, the KNO3 is very minute. Let me do a little bit of the finger rub here. That's what the finger looks like. I would say it's maybe a little dirtier than some of the others. But you know, you make that judgment for yourself. I don't think personally at this point, just looking at this, that it's going to have any effect on the FPS, the velocity, but we'll find that out shortly. Well, I did the burn test. You saw that. Getting ready to throw some lead downrange. What I am shooting, once again, is the blended gunpowder made from Osage, alder, and juniper. And I'm also going to retest my cherry gunpowder. When I shot that the first time, you know, my numbers were all over the place, with the highest being 2,000, was it 83, 84, something like that. But I wanted to point something out real quick. What I'm shooting is 80 grains by weight, and it's a settled weight. And when I did that glass jar test with the cherry the second time around, it was more close to the specific gravity of maple, which is 0.63. So I went on the internet and I did some more research, and depending on the variety of cherry, your specific gravity could go up as much as 0.58, which in a glass jar would have made it appear closer to maple in the specific gravity. Now, I know that there's some thought processes out there about pucking it twice, using a 20-ton jack to create more dense gunpowder, faster burning gunpowder, and all this stuff. I'm not subscribing to that. You make your gunpowder the way you want, but I do want to show you something, because when it comes to alder, buckthorn alder has a specific gravity, allegedly a 0.50, but depending on what alder you have, such as speckled, red, or white alder, that specific gravity is going to be different. And I'm going to show you my case, my argument, okay? So what I have, this measurement right here, this powder measure, this is weighed out at 80 grains and settled, okay? Now this is the juniper, alder, and Osage. Osage having a specific gravity of 0.82, and the speckled alder, which is I strongly believe I have, is 0.44, and my juniper is about 0.48. So this is what 80 grains settled in the powder measure looks like. Okay, so you're right at about, I'm guessing about maybe 85. Now, because cherry, I'm suspecting, is 0.58, 80 grains settled, that's where it rests in the powder measurer. Okay, now it may not look like there's much of a difference, but let me put the two side by side and focus on where they're resting as far as the volume is concerned. Once again, the 3-part blended gunpowder, I'm guessing, you know, you look at where that sets in conjunction with the 9, and then you look at where this sets in conjunction with the 9. You can't even see the 9. This is a much denser gunpowder, so I don't believe that pucking it with a 20-ton jack is going to create a much more dense gunpowder, because you can see right here with cherry being what I suspect the 0.58, and the blended gunpowder having the speckled alder at 0.44, much lighter, you're going to fill or occupy more space in your powder measure. But ultimately, what does it do downrange? So I'm going to get loaded up and start doing some shooting. So while I put my earplugs in, I am using the 3-part blended gunpowder to charge the flash pan. It's a good year, 1776. I only have 4 white patches, so I'm going to try to make sure I gather all 4 just to check and see how this gunpowder is shooting, whether it's really clean or really dirty. I have my suspicions at this point with the juniper, but stay tuned. Well, there it is. First shot going down a clean barrel. Not that bad, really. But by the time we get to the 4th one, that might change. $17.12. Well, there's that patch. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, we get another shot downrange. $17.22. Didn't find the patch of shot number 3, and as you can tell, the breeze is starting to pick up just a little bit. And I am leaving the chronograph in its spot. I'm leaving it on just simply because today's high is only supposed to be 48, so it's pretty chilly right now. $17.16. Well, you guys can see with the first 4 shots grouped. Let's hope I don't jinx it. $17.52. So I did not find the previous 2 patches as of yet. I did find it interesting that this patch, I saw it fly up to about the level of the roof, which is, was it 10 feet, I think it is. So that flew up pretty high, but at least it came down to where I could find it. And that's what that 5th shot looks like. I'd say that's pretty damn clean. There's shot number 1. You guys compare. I'm pretty impressed how clean shooting it is. Other than that last shot, I had a pretty good group going, and that may have just been me because I was really trying to focus on where this patch went so that I could find it and recover it. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to go ahead and brush the barrel, put a couple rags, a couple patches down through it, clean out any residual powder, and get loaded up and shoot 5 shots with the cherry. But before I do that, let me just show you the lock right now as it stands. So looking at it myself, I would say other than the residue on the edge of the pan right here, there's there's getting to be a buildup, okay? So myself, I don't know if I would attribute that to the juniper that's mixed with this or the Osage, but there is getting to be a buildup right there. And I don't know if you guys can see that as well as I can. I will probably, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and clean this out, wipe as much of the residual powder off as I can, and then I'm going to switch to my 4F Schützen. Because even listening, even this blended powder seemed to go off pretty quick in this gun. Alright, so I'm going to get this accomplished and turn the camera back on and throw some more lead down range. I will be using the same target. $17.28. Okay, maybe I better stop looking for those patches as they fly through the air, because that shot went just a little bit higher than what the previous shot did. Let's see if I can do any better and maybe find these two patches, so it can just be consistent with how clean or dirty burning this gunpowder is. $17.50. Well, I found that patch. It's the second shot with cherry. It's pretty clean as far as I'm concerned. Well, you guys seen it before I did. Well, since that patch landed on top of the chronograph, I didn't have to go far to find it. But there it is. Again, it's pretty clean burning, guys. All right, let me go mark off the target. $17.45. $17.62. Well, there's that last patch. It's pretty damn clean. I get no complaints with that. I'll show you the target when I get everything packed up and into the shop, but I do want to show you the lock just so that you can kind of compare. This is 4F Schützen, 5 shots. If you guys can look at the bottom of that lock, you can see all kinds of stuff sitting there. I mean, it's not near as bad as Swiss, I can tell you that right now, but I can tell you after another 5, 6, 7 shots, I'd probably have to vent pick it. I probably would. But you can see, and I'm only attributing this to the graphite glazing. I really am. Because I've showed over the past just using my homemade gunpowder in the flash pan, other than today with that Osage, it really doesn't even look, or didn't look near as bad as this does. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying that, you know, if you was in a timed event, what are the odds, what are the chances are that you'd have to vent pick this before you get done through your timed event? That's really all I'm saying. Again, if you were deer hunting, first shot doesn't matter because it's probably going to go off anyways. All right, let me get packed up, go crunch some numbers, and I'll conclude. So before I give everybody the numbers, just want everybody to know it's 11:30 right now, and it's 44 degrees. So that temperature in doing all of this shooting is a lot more stabilized than it would be during the summer when I start at 9:30 and then finish by about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So when we go over these numbers, remember what Paul Harrell used to always say. Chronographs, elevation, and temperature will affect how these things record your numbers. Okay, so how did I do overall? Well, with the blended gunpowder, Osage, alder, and juniper, 5-shot average was 1735.6 with a spread of 64. The cherry, obviously I wanted to redo that because when I did it the first time, the numbers were all over the place, with the high being like 2085 something. It was just ridiculous is what it was. So redoing it this time, 5-shot average was 1744 with a spread of 34. So it actually did a little better than this blended gunpowder. But if you look at what I did the other day with the peanut shell, 5-shot average, 85 grains, guessing by volume because I explained it in the previous video. 5-shot average was 1760 with a spread of 34. So, I mean, it even did better than what I did today. But I am working on a video that's going to include everything that I'm discussing here, just simply because I'm coming to the point to where I'm not that I'm losing interest, but it's like, what's the point at this point? Because, you know, like with what I did today, if I wanted to bump up the feet per second with Osage, alder, juniper, I'll just put another 10 grains and go up to 90 grains by weight, maybe 100 grains by volume, and that feet per second is going to increase because that's just how it works. But you might be interested in the target. There she be. I got everything numbered, and I got the cherry at least labeled off. Other than those 3 higher shots, which again could have just been where I was, you know, aiming the open iron sights. Obviously, if this was scoped, it probably could have done a whole lot better if it was scoped, but I shoot with open iron sights. That's a pretty good group for 10 shots out of a flintlock. Yep. Not bad. So I want to thank everybody for watching. If you found this of interest, I hope you give it a thumbs up. And obviously be willing to share it with your bestest of buds. Everybody have a great day. And now, as you all know, I got a gun to go clean. Bye.